Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Khalid and Mighty. We're going to start on our second Kerbal Space Program video. I actually recorded most of what I would consider to be the second video, but then Kerbal Space Program crashed because I guess it freaked out. But, so yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and resume saves. Which, here we go. Whew. But what I did was I went ahead and I recruited some more astronauts. I recruited Thomas, Samlik, and Lenny because Bill, Jebediah, and Bob, we lost them last time. They were pioneers in the race in space. We will honor them tremendously. Yeah. So what I actually did was I built a satellite and a rocket. So I'm going to open that up. I built it in the last videos. That would have been recorded, but Kerbal Space Program freaked out. So I'm going to go ahead and load it. So here is satellite. I'll go ahead and remove all this so you can kind of see. So here's this the core, the Sputnik. It's kind of like Sputnik. I just call it Sputnik Mark 1. That's one of the better satellite cores, and it's kind of a standard one. So basically, this is an unmanned satellite. This kind of has all the computers and stuff. And yeah, and then these are communications panels over here in science. Comms DTS is what they're called. I got 4 of them just because I thought it kind of looked cool like that. And here's my SAS module, which again keeps it upright with the RCS little jet engine. I don't know what you call them, but and this white thing's a white fuselage, just a regular white fuselage. And then right here, the brown and yellow thing, this is the rechargeable battery. I believe it is this guy. So it kind of powers the whole satellite, and to recharge it, we're going to use these guys, which are 2 solar arrays, which will extend out in space. And then this is an RCS fuel tank for these guys, just so it can maneuver its way around. But I'm actually going to move these guys to the middle. I don't know why I have them off to the side, but yeah. And then these are the different instruments over here on the sides, and they are, I grabbed all 4 of these, but I have a seismic accelerometer, which just measures seismic activity on Kerbin, barometer, which measures atmospheric pressure, negative ravioli detector, which I don't know what a negative ravioli thing is. I honestly want to call it negative ravioli, but I guess it measures the gravitational field, and then a thermometer, which all of you should know what a thermometer is. If you don't, that's sad. Anyways, so these guys are stack decouplers. They are over here in the structural. And normally we use these guys, radial decouplers, kind of down here where they push off. But these guys actually like separate the rocket right there. They just almost like cut it in half so that this falls away. So we're using those just to kind of keep everything away from the satellite and running into the satellite. So actually I'm going to move these up. I'll explain this real quick. So these guys right here. So the first stage will be these things letting go, and these booster rockets engaging. Now, these booster rockets are kind of cool. They are just, these guys, solid boosters. It's the rocket and the fuel in the booster already. Just, it's all said and done. You just click, place, and you're good. They're not super powerful, but they're kind of a nice thing to get something small off the ground. So then the next stage will be to disengage these guys, and then activate this rocket down here. And then the next stage after that, we're going to activate this stack decoupler, which will make all of this stuff fall away. And then this engine will go ahead and ignite. Now the reason why the engine's encased is because it has stuff underneath it. So that when this comes off and cuts everything, this actually will fall apart and the engine will then be revealed to the open, which will then ignite. And the final one will be to separate that, which by then this satellite should be up in the air. So yeah, that's the most part of it. So let's go ahead and launch this. That's the one from when my computer crashed, so it's still out there. So we're just going to be safe and just clear it and go ahead and put this asteroid out there. Or not asteroid. Why do I keep calling it an asteroid? Satellite out there. And hopefully we can get this one up in orbit. What I'm going to try and do this time is a maneuver, which I'll get into once we kind of get up higher. But you can go ahead and do a maneuver which will allow you to get like a circular orbit a lot easier than trying to manually do it. So, okay, throttle's up. Looks like a good day for some space exploring. And we will have launch in 3, 2, 1. Launch. Golden. So, well, I should probably put the SAS on. That's smart. You can see it already started to tilt a little bit. It's going off at an angle. Yeah, I don't know why they calls it debris when it's like the things that will hold the rocket up, but I don't know. So if we can zoom far away, looks kind of cool. That was exciting. Alright. So yeah, I mean, you can see these boosters are not necessarily super powerful, but I mean, they help with lifting small things up. So it's kind of nice. But we're just kind of wait until these go ahead and die. We're already heading off at a little bit of an angle, so we should be okay. Should be about done. Oh, actually, perfect. They're done. So I go ahead and hit the space bar. Falls off, ignites the next engine. Up and away we go. So yeah, rocket's looking great. We're just going to keep climbing. Once we're going to get to right about here, I'm going to go ahead and start kind of turning it just so it kind of extends away. It's not just going straight up and it's going to fall straight down, and that it extends outward. And then I'm going to start working on trying to get a maneuver out. So, but the cool thing is with this RCS fuel, once I turn RCS on to help turn this rocket, you'll see what these guys do. And the nice thing about having RCS is that with like rockets like this, like a satellite where you don't have wings that you can use to maneuver, that these help a lot when maneuvering. So just kind of waiting for the velocity to get up to speed, or things still increasing. Hang on. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. Maybe like right in there, because I don't want to start turning too early. I think we'll be pretty good. So I go ahead and turn off SAS and turn on RCS, and you can see the RCS stuff spreads propellant everywhere. So let's go ahead and leave it right there. And it's gonna alter it a little bit, but for the most part, yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and get this up to where it's about 75. You know what, a little bit longer. Okay, I'd say that's about good. So then we'll leave our rocket like this, which it should continue on this path for a while. So then up here, we're going to click here and add maneuver. Now this lets you kind of give you a projection. Oop, I don't want, not that one. A projection of your what kind of orbit you want. So I'm going to just kind of leave that there, but I want to go ahead and increase the speed just so we can kind of get an orbit. Now, this orbit's going to be really lopsided just because I've only edited one part of it. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out a little bit and go ahead and edit the rest of this so you can kind of play around with it and make sure it looks somewhat okay. So it's going to be, sure, we'll go with that, and then is it increasing more still? Oh, well, FYI, yeah, that's how you get to the moon, but we'll worry about that later. How in the world do I? Because I'm trying to make. Why is it getting bigger? Look, you know what? Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. So we don't want. We want the medium point to be right about there, right where we go ahead and do the maneuver, and then the rest of this will just be a straight circle. So then the top of it should be 140,000, 89,000 is golden. So we will leave it at that, and we got 8 seconds to get. Oh gosh. Yeah, no, keep going, keep going, keep going. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Ready and locked on. Burning. That was convenient. Now I'm not sure I'm going to have enough fuel to kind of really get it going, because you can see right now we're already starting to fall. So what I'm going to do is edit this just a little bit so that I'm pointing up. Yeah, the orbit might be a little off and not super circular, but you know what? As long as I get the orbit, I'm fine. So once this passes the 0 and goes up to the positive side, okay, yeah, now we're okay. Because now we're gaining altitude. So now we can look at the map and see our orbit is starting to approach there. So actually, this one's almost out of fuel. This is why it's nice that I have the other engine, because now it's like, oh geez. But guess what? Detach. We're going to wait a couple seconds so we don't do anything crazy with this. And then engage. Or my engine could just explode everything behind me. That's normal. So let me look at the map here, and we're about good. So let me just kill it. Okay, so yeah, there's my orbit. Now the orbit's a little lopsided. So what I can do to fix that is I can get rid of this maneuver, but then over here, that's about the distance I want. So I'm going to go ahead and get a maneuver in, and I'm going to go ahead and alter this again and just change it. So that way it is a little bit more circular. Because you want that to be the lowest point, right about there. And that will get you a pretty good circular deal. So we'll go ahead and do it right there. So the highest is 304 and the lowest is 285, which both are in space and with golden. So that will be my orbit. And then, you know what? I'm going to change it so that, oh, not that way. I want to change it so that way it is. No, oh no! I like that maneuver. That was good. That was good. That was good. Oh, scumbag. Okay, so yeah, put the PE there. That's the lowest point, and then make sure the two. Nope, not this one. Two of them are on side to side, which should be pretty golden. That should give you a decent orbit. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it like that, because that's a pretty circular orbit, and yeah, it's at an angle, but you know what? That's okay. So now I have 5 minutes and 31 seconds to orient myself, and this is just a satellite. I have a decent amount of fuel, so I can go ahead and try that. But you see how fast the RCS makes it spin? That's what's nice with the satellite. Oop, 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 oop. Done. Right on target. So now we're going to wait a little bit. I'm just going to leave it there so I don't blow past it. But once we kind of get through the time, then we're going to go ahead and engage this next part of it. And point it in this direction for a small amount of time will make it so that you know, our orbit will change and it will orient itself to where I've predestined it to be. Now here we go. 40, 30, 20, 10. Go ahead and bring the time back down. No, let's speed up a little bit. Okay. It's 3, 2, 1. We increase the burn, and it's only a small burn. Very small burn. It's just going to orient the orbit so it's a little bit different. But we don't want to go too far, so then we kind of start to slow down a little bit. What happened? Oh, out of fuel. Ah, well. But, I mean, you look at that orbit, and although, yeah, I ran out of fuel, that's pretty good. We have a successful orbit. The highest part is at 305,000, which is great, and the lowest part's at 280,000. That is great. If you are below 100,000 meters, then that's a little close, because once you start getting below that, that's when our atmosphere might catch you, and it might start bringing you in, which happened a couple of times where when we launch something into orbit, and we think we have an orbit, but then once it gets caught by the atmosphere, the orbit changes and everything's screwed up. So what I'm actually going to do now is orient this so I'm facing away from the Earth, or yeah, and then I'm going to push the space bar, which will disengage my engine and remove it so that's just the asteroid. And there it goes. Now that will leave debris, but the nice thing is it will shoot this stuff into Earth over time, hopefully, because it is moving away from us. But there's a way we can kind of check that and make sure. So now we have a legitimate orbit, and it is golden. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed up time so we are facing the sun, and then I'm going to mess with my asteroid a little bit more and show you something else that's kind of cool. Okay, so there's the sun. So now I'm going to go ahead and, whoop, I want it to be that way. All right. A little bit. Oh, no, okay. Just like that. It's pretty good. So then I come into here, I can right click on these and say I want you to extend the panels. Now this is where it gets kind of cool. So now they will automatically orient themselves to the sun. Once they extend completely, see, I can right click on these and see now they're getting sun exposure, so now they're getting energy flow. So these guys, same thing, they are getting a little sun. I don't know why. Oh no, they're good. They're golden. So they are now getting sun. So you look at this and yeah. So then what I can do is I can click on these and say toggle display. Oh, see? The parameter is in vacuum. So that was kind of pointless to put that on this satellite. Why asteroid again? Seismic accelerator 0 because it's not in the atmosphere. So this is more or less just kind of showing you what you can do with an asteroid and the different things that you can do. So, but this is one that does matter, the negative gravity detector, because that detects the gravity out here, which can help, and then the thermometer just shows the thermometer up here in space. So basically, you know what? I will leave these two on, just because they are somewhat of use, and then these two just leave off just because they're pointless. But with the rechargeable battery and these extending, this thing will never run out of battery. See, it's at 100%. So these things can, everything on here can just run forever, as long as it's in contact with the sun. So yeah, I mean, you can just kind of watch it float around in its orbit. So these are the two debris I launched. See as they're kind of slowly getting away from me, and then I should start reapproaching them. Well, that's weird. Why is it... Cannot warp faster. Oh, so that is actually the other debris that I had. Let's just make sure nobody collides with anybody. We're all okay. So I think that stuff just went into it might have gone into a lopsided deal. But yeah, I mean that is the path my satellite is gonna follow for the rest of eternity until somebody decides to knock it down. So I have now achieved a successful orbit with this satellite, which is awesome. It's about time finally managed to get something in orbit. And it's a great orbit too. It looks pretty circular. So now that's done, I can go ahead and click on here. To get rid of a maneuver, I'll just do this real quick. To get rid of a maneuver, you left click on it and then right click on it. Because left click on it selects it, and right click on it says that you want to delete it, then you hit the X and it's gone. So yep, that is my orbit. So yeah, got our first thing in the orbit. It's a pretty circular orbit. I'm pretty happy. So I would say, what is this? Information. Oh, that's the information of my satellite. That's kind of cool. It's not one of these guys. Oh yeah, nobody put on the satellite. So yeah, now I have a satellite. So now what's cool is I can hit escape and just go back to the Space Center and just leave it. So now I'm going to show you what I was talking about before. We can manually go check on what's up in orbit without actually having to just zoom out and look at the map. You look over here to these satellites, as I kind of mentioned before in the first video, and you can check up on everything that you have. See, I can see my satellite, and I can actually take control of it. If I click here and say fly, I can automatically take control of it. Now, I can't do anything with it because there's no engines on it anymore. It's just the RCS. So it really wouldn't do anything. And then I can terminate it, which basically means that I would, well, delete it. But if you notice, I have all my debris here too. So if you can see, that's the debris that was at the launch pad, the stacks, the 4 stack things. This is the other debris that I launched downward. What is its? So that actually should crash into the Earth. That's pretty low. That's kind of high, but that one actually should crash into the Earth. But it's this one that it's PO. Yeah, this one's the one that's going to stay in orbit. So what I can do is I can say, go ahead and terminate this. It warns me that I can. Let me just check. Okay, I lied. Excuse me. This debris right here, if you zoom in here real quick, these are the 2 debris of the last engine that I disengaged from the satellite before I just left it in orbit. So those I can delete, because those are going to end up staying there if I don't do anything about it. Now this is the first, or I guess you can call it the second stage, after the booster rockets. And that will probably crash into the Earth because it gets pretty low here. And we can check back up on it the next time we check this out. And then these guys, we can go ahead and just say recover. And we can just keep that stuff. Which, it doesn't really matter because you basically have unlimited resources. But then again with this, because it's on the ground and it's good, that you can't delete it, so you recover it. So right now, that is the only debris in the sky, and then that is the only probe. So, got my good satellite up there. It's doing great. Then we can check up on the debris. It's right over here. Can't speed up time in here, but I think that's pretty okay. But I'm curious as to see whether or not that'll fall back to the Earth. So I'm actually just gonna leave it there. We'll check back up on it next time. So go ahead and back out, and that is getting the satellite up in orbit. I wish I could have shown you how I built it, but you saw most of it. I went ahead and showed you the stuff. But so yeah, that's how you get it up into orbit, and that's how you use maneuvers, and that's how you with the stack decouplers and the different instruments and stuff. Now you can experiment. You can have a closer satellite that's pretty close to the atmosphere if you get really good with setting up maneuvers, so that you can set it up so it hovers at about 100,000 meters away, or like 90 or 80,000 even, and just maintains a steady orbit around. You can do that. It may require some tinkering with the rocket or anything, but that's where you would use a barometer, which measures atmospheric pressure and the seismic activity, because then that will measure what's going on Earth because it can read it. But yeah, I would say that is pretty much it. So once I quit, the whole screenshot is going to go ahead and go away. So I'm just going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys for watching this video. It was pretty cool to finally get a satellite up in the air and have it finally get into orbit. But, as always, the adventure will continue next time. So thank you guys for watching.